Shabu student. Today we are discussing in the computer network unit 4 network layer, and topic is router. So what is router? Router is nothing but are used to create a large network by joining two network segments like bridges. Router are devices whose primary purpose is to connect two or more networks and to filter network signal so that only desired information travels between them. This is a picture of router, and this is the architecture of router. In the architecture of router, we having input ports, fabrics, line codes, and routing processor. The router processor is used to connect to different devices by IP address. So first we are knowing about the router capability. Routers are aware of many possible paths across the network and can choose the best one for each data packet to travel. Router operate primarily by examine including data for its network routing and transport information. So for an example, routers are often used to regulate the flow of information between information than bridges, and then therefore can regulate network traffic more precisely. But unlikely a gateway, it cannot interface different protocols. This information includes the source and destination network routing address. This means that it has multiple interface that each belong to different IP address. When a router receives an IP packet on one interface, it determines which interface to use to forward the packet onto its destination. After this, we will move on the picture of routing or router connecting three different networks. Here we having a source network and two destination networks. So in this, router decides which network. So in this, router has decide which network is connected with the source network or which destination point is connected with the source point. So if the router has been configured with the sufficient information to know which of its ports is an in route to the destination, it transmits the packet. If the router has not been so configured, it typically drop the packet. A router uses the IP address of destination network to deliver a packet to the correct network. When the packet arrives at a router connected to the destination network, the router uses the IP address to locate the specific computer on the network. This is the picture how a router connects to network. Here we having a source and this is a destination, and these are the networks, and between the networks we are taking a router here, and the router decide which IP address is connected with the source to destination. Now routing. Routing is nothing but it's a primarily responsibility of router is to direct packets determined for local and remote networks. So by this, determining the best path to send the packets, forwarding packet towards their destination. That means the router use its routing table to determine the best path to forward the packet. And when the router receives a packet, it examines its destination IP address and searches for the best match with the network address is the router's routing table. The routing table also include the interface to be used to forward the packet. Once a match is found, the router encapsulates the IP packets into the data link frame of the outgoing or exit interface, and the packet is then forwarded towards its destination. Types of routes. Here we have three types. First is static routes, second is connected routes, and third one is dynamic routes. So first we will discuss static routes. So what is static routes? Static routes are configured mainly network administrator must add and delete static routes to reflect any network topology changes. In a large network, the manual maintenance of routing table could require a lot of administrative time. Static routing is not as dynamic routing because of the extra administrative requirements. Even large networks, static routes that are intended to accomplish a specific purpose are often configured in conjunction with a dynamic routing protocol. The uses of static routings are: a network consists of only a few routers, and a network is connected to the internet only through a single ISP. And the third one is large network is configured in a hub and spoke topology. Now, second point is connected routes. These networks that are directly connected to the routers are called connected routes and are not needed to configure on router for routing. Now third one is dynamic route. So the dynamic route protocol use a route that a routing protocol adjusts automatically for topology or traffic changes. So in the summarized way, we can say a router device its name from the facts that it can route data it receives from one network onto another. When a router receives a packet of data, it reads the header of the packet to determine the destination address. And once it has determined the address, it looks in its routing table to determine whether it knows how to reach the destination, and if it does, it forwards the packet to the next hop on the router. And the next hop might be the final destination, or it might be another router. Router do not look at the destination node address. They only look at the network address. So, router will only pass the information if the network address is known. And this ability to control the data passing through the router reduces the amount of traffic between networks and allows router to use these links more efficiently than bridges. Thank you.